And welcome everyone, thank you very much for joining me today in my latest episode on my channel. It's been a pleasure. Hope you're having a quality Saturday. Let me know what you're up to. Are you in the garden, going out shopping, doing whatever, or playing footy? But let me know what you're doing. Hope you're having a quality Saturday and welcome to my channel. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button because I talk about Liverpool Football Club, news, transfers, match builds up. I'll be doing it all summer and it'd be a pleasure if you could all jump on board. And thank you again for all those subscribers. It really does mean a hell of a lot to me. But thank you. Let me know what you're doing and hopefully you're having a quality day. But yeah, I've got a packed show today. I'm going to be talking about Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's signed his new contract. That's fantastic news for me. I'm really very happy about that. I'll talk a bit about that first. Phil, PSG talk is happening once again. I'll talk a bit about that. Suarez on his Liverpool move and what he felt before he moved to Liverpool and his move from Ajax to Liverpool in all those years ago. He's talked a bit about Liverpool Football Club and the fans, so I'll bring that about to you. And to wrap off, it's Naby has quoted, come out, I think it was last night, he's talked to a German publication. I'll talk a bit about that, only a little bit, because even I'm getting sick and tired of the RB Leipzig stance on the player. But yeah, I'll talk a bit about that. But right, let's get started. Highly rated Liverpool youngster Trent Alexander-Arnold has signed a new 5-year deal with the Reds. The 18-year-old Scouser only penned an extension in November last year, which took him through to 2021. But the new contract is recognition of his new development in Jurgen Klopp's first team. Alex made 12 first team appearances last season, including 7 in the Premier League. And throughout, he is a versatile performer and he is expected to increasingly challenge established first choice right back Nathaniel Klein for a slot next season. He's quoted as saying to Liverpool Football Club, "I'm excited and proud for this moment for me and my family. I'm excited for the good times ahead, hopefully. But I've said before, the hard work definitely doesn't stop now. It's only just the beginning. Hopefully, I have many more moments like this from last season, this season, and the seasons to come. I can't take it for granted. The position and opportunity I've been given. Every day, I'm trying to maximise the opportunity and do well." There's a lot more of this interview, so I really recommend going checking it out. I'll leave it in the description. For me, there's nothing better. This lad, Alexander-Arnold, he is going to be one class player. He's only 18, only young lad, Scouser. Only lived a short couple of miles away from the training grounds complex in Melwood. And he talks about in the interview, he used to stand on bins, and obviously being a young lad himself, he's grew up watching Gerrard and all the legendary players that come through Liverpool Football Club. But for me, and for the fans as well, but for Scousers, for local fans of Liverpool, there's nothing better than seeing one of our own actually come through the ranks. Gerrard and Carragher are obviously the last really established ones that broke into the first team and made a huge impact. But Gerrard, a couple of months back, he was quoted as saying, Alexander-Arnold, he talked a lot more in depth about young lads, and he said a couple of months back, he is very much excited and he can see the class and quality in him. And for me, when I've seen him, he's very much, and he goes into more detail, he's such a humble lad. From what he said, he's not going to be getting more, he's not going to get big-headed, he's very much down to earth, which is amazing to actually hear, because you get some players coming on the scene, there's different characters in football, like in life anyway, but he's very much humble. He recognises he still lives at home with his mum, obviously being 18, but he said his mum's put him in place. Check the interview out, it's a quality interview, but he still lives at home with his mum. She keeps him on his feet on the ground, but he's very much, you get the sense that he's going to work tooth and nail. He's been given, he talks later on in the interview, but I want you to read it later. He talks about when he's broken into the first team and Klopp, this is a signifier of which the confidence in which Jurgen's given him. And I think personally, Jurgen's going to be, he sees him as a very much key figure. So check this interview out. But that has made me so happy when I read this and seen the interview. It's one of the best pieces of news I've heard in a while, really, because it's really good to actually see a young lad coming through, a Scouser, or anyone for that matter, but even better being the Scouser coming through. And for me, I reckon he can really, really, really push on this season. And he's very much versatile. He can play in midfield, right back, left back. But I cannot wait to see what the future holds for this young lad. And I really can't wait to actually... I hope he actually breaks into properly challenges Nathaniel Klein, but I'm sure he will. Definitely check that interview out. All the best, Alexander-Arnold, lad. So yeah, all the best, lad. But right, PSG, as reported in L'Equipe on Saturday, claims that Liverpool are happy to sell Philippe Coutinho to PSG as long as they receive a €90 million for the player. The Brazilian obviously signed a 5-year contract last season, and Jurgen Klopp is apparently, this is what he's saying, is reported to have told the player, let's just get on this, stay here, and they will end up building a statue in your honour. Obviously talking about if you stay at Liverpool, he could be a cult figure, which I personally think he can be. And he goes on to say, quoted, not fully quoted, but he's meant to have said to Phil, go somewhere else, to Barcelona, to Bayern, to Real Madrid, you will be just another player. Here, you can become something more. For me, I hope to Lord that Liverpool and the higher up echelons in the club have not actually turned around and paid any attention. Unless Phil actually makes it clear, like a Suarez situation, Sterling situation, where they actually come out and say, make it public knowledge that they want to leave. Yeah, fair enough. If he wants to leave, let him go. But he signed a new contract a couple of months ago. He's got lots of potential. He's only young. And for me, if we sold him, we'd be going backwards. Far backwards. As soon as Phil can get a lot more consistent in the league, he's already good when he's on top of his game, but that consistency is key. As soon as he gets down to his game, he can be a proper force in the Premier League. And he already is at the minute, but he's not up there really with the top midfielders, top at the performance level in which you need to be consistently at the top level to be classed as a regular, not world class, but he is going to be one of the world's best midfielders in a couple of years. But that was just talking about PSG. I really hope we keep hold of him. I'm pretty sure we will, because if we sell him, as I said just then, we'll be going backwards. The signals, you need to keep your best players at the football club, and Philippe Coutinho is very much a very big part in what Jurgen Klopp is meant to be building, and we're not going to lose him. Hopefully that doesn't... I'm not just jinxed myself, but yeah. Let me know what you think about Phil. How important do you think he is to this Liverpool team this summer? Do you think this season will be one of his biggest seasons in a red shirt? For me, he's got to push on, but let me know what you thought about Phil. Is he one of your favourite players? Is it Mane or Salah or whoever? Let me know how much you rate Phil. How much would you give him for last season? How much? Obviously, he was out for a bit with his injuries, which was a shame, but when he has been in form, not a lot last season, but when he has, he's unstoppable, isn't he? But let me know. Luis Suarez, right? Luis Suarez reminisces about dream Liverpool move. What a signing. The former Liverpool striker talks about the feelings of securing his big move to Anfield. He's quoted saying, when I was a little boy, Liverpool was one of the biggest clubs in Europe and was renowned throughout the world, he said. So when I found out about the club's interest in me, I was never in doubt because it was a dream to play for any player. I never imagined that I would get the chance to play there. Wow. Obviously he had his troubles at Ajax. He had, everyone knows what happens, when the bad situations happens with Louis. But as a club, we support him and that. He obviously had that biting instance at Ajax as well. That's hence, when you see him, I think it was the World Cup of the Euros, the summer where we signed him. What a signing. He has been one of our greatest ever signings in Liverpool Football Club's history. Just for the quality. For me personally, I never grew up with watching Kenny or the legendary players that won European Cups after European Cups, like the Souneses, Fowlers, Rushies, Dalglish's, the list goes on. But for me, growing up and what I've seen in the last 20 years, he is by far, him and Gerrard are the two best Liverpool players to ever grace the pitch of Anfield. But yeah, kind words for the former number 7. Obviously, you'll excuse him for being obviously, he's going like the lifetime love of Liverpool in the wake of his desperate bid to leave. Obviously, at the back end of even forcing his move to Barcelona in the end. About the fans, obviously, Louis talks about at Anfield, the fans get right behind you. You come that May, he say, obviously come May, they really much support you and drive you on. He would certainly know that about that. The affection that they show to you is just so special, which in turn makes you lift your head and respond rather than letting it drop a little. For me, this is just what Liverpool fans are all about and it's very much special. There's a lot more in this interview, so check it out in the description. Let me know, who is Suarez up there with your best player? Let me know. For me, I'd say for quality wise, I love Stevie G, but watching Suarez was something else. Obviously, I wish Suarez stayed at Liverpool. Like when he moved, he's still at the club now. But if only, it's a part of the story of if only he stayed, what would have happened? That season when we finished second, you seen how devastated he was. I felt so sorry, obviously for all the team, and we were all gutted when the collapse at the back end. But for me, what he done that season was something else. You could see he was crying. When he plays for any team, but for Liverpool, he give his absolute all, and it's the type of player. Him and Sanchez, it's a South American style of football in which they play. They play through so many pain barriers. That's what I think it was. Rodgers or Klopp. There's the difference between Suarez and Sturridge in the mentality of one being injured. Suarez, I think it was Gerrard saying a quote by Gerrard a couple of months back. He said Suarez would come in like with broken foot or toe or whatever. Not a complete broken foot, but he'd had swelling or bruises on his foot. But Louis had just play through it. He'd never whinge or anything. It was very, very much a South American style player of going through the pain barrier. But that is amazing. And for what he's done, we've all seen what he's done at Barcelona. He took them to a higher level, which is just a mark of the class and world-class talent of Luis Suarez. And we're all blessed to actually sit. We were, for that time in which he played for Liverpool, that is very much, I wish we could all get him back one day, but you never know. Hopefully, if he does eventually leave Barca, he comes back to Liverpool. We'll have to wait and see. But all the best, Louis, lad. And yeah, finally, the RB Leipzig. I'm not going to talk a lot about this. Obviously, I've done a video if you haven't checked it out. But this is an update on the update from the last video. RB Leipzig, Naby Keita is a bad news for Liverpool. The chances of Naby moving to Liverpool have taken a big hit after the dismissive comments from the player. In quotes published by RB Live, Keita said, "I do not want to change to a big Champions League club. I feel content and currently have no thought of a change. The most important thing for me is that I focus on my powers on the pitch." Make that of what you think. If he's just being humble, as I said, he's trying to be chilled as much and respectful of the club. But for me, with this story, I'm getting really sick and tired, as you probably are, with the whole, we haven't even lodged a bid. Apparently, all week or last couple of weeks, we've said Virgil wants to move and Naby wants apparently to move, but there's been no official lodged bids that we've heard of. So if we're talking to players and they're wanting to come, why not lodge a bid in? No matter how much it is, just pay the money. And Klopp is. We don't want to be in a situation where Klopp turns around, come 6 months, and be like, walks away from the club, because there's nothing at all stopping him. Yeah, he signed a new contract, but if the club and the owners are not sticking to their word, I'm pretty sure Klopp would have set out his plans, put them on the table and said, right, I'll identify all these targets. I want backing and assurances that yous will fund me with the players. And if come 6-12 months and he hasn't got the players in that he wants, it's like Klopp saying he wants his targets, but if it's not in Klopp's hands in negotiations with the players when it comes to them. Klopp's only identifying, he coaches the team and he can't do transfers as well. So that's the whole point of having a team. But he could potentially just walk away. As much as he would not want to, he loves Liverpool Football Club, but if I was a manager, or if you were managing a football club, and if you were under the assurances, it's breach of contract, that he was under the assurance that the club would do as much as they can, and they would support him and his vision for the football club. So yeah, Naby Keita, another story, but we'll have to wait and see. It could be going on, both of them players, but we'd be sick and tired of all that by the end of the season. We've seen it time after time after time. Again, with Conor Blanca and Gylfi Sigurdsson when he was at Swansea. And the list of players literally is endless. There are players that we've missed on. But on an upside point, let me know. It's been an absolute pleasure, as always. And hopefully you're enjoying your Saturday morning or afternoon, wherever you are in the world. But yeah, let me know if you want me to do other transfer news or Premier League talk as well. I'll be doing a Premier League talk after this show as well. I've got me Nathaniel Klein review coming out as well today. So keep tuned, and thank you everyone for absolutely being amazing. And if you're watching to the end, you're absolute legends. But if you like this video, smash that like button. It'd be very much appreciated. And yeah, I'll speak to you very soon. All the best everyone, and have a quality Saturday afternoon. All the best, up to the heads, and I'll speak to you very soon. Never walk alone. Come on!